Hey guys, Jesse backstage at the Wells Fargo Center with Brendon Urie.
What's up?
Panic at the Disco. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Oh, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
You're just kicking off the tour.
Yeah.
right?
Last night was the first show.
Okay, so we have sloppy seconds. No, this is great.
Sexy seconds. No, it's going to be awesome.
I want to talk about the Grammys.
Oh,
what the
yeah.
hell?
That was wild.
Was it crazy?
It was amazing. The whole experience was crazy.
You went to the Grammys once before, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think I read like some crazy story. Something happened, like you guys had tickets, but then you didn't. You showed up at the Grammys,
Yeah.
and this was years ago. Can you compare that to this time around?
It was super embarrassing. It was the polar opposite. It was the anti-Grammy, basically. Like, it was so weird because, the first time we went, I think it was 2008, and we showed up at the red carpet, and we were just supposed to walk through, do the press, and we were going to go to the ceremony. But we stood outside and we didn't have our tickets. So we had to wait for like 45 minutes and the carpet almost closed. We were like, well, we'd like to do a couple of interviews. So luckily we got in. And as soon as we started our first interview, we got like mid-sentence. And I think it was Juliana. I think that's her name.
Juliana Rancic.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And she was asked us a question and I started answering. And midway through, she just goes, okay, thank you. Miley! And we were just like, oh, all right. It was like a real reality check. So it was funny. I mean, looking back now, it's funny. At the time, it sucked. But it's funny now.
This time around was amazing because you were up for Best Rock Album of the Year.
Yeah,
What
it was
the
incredible.
hell?
It was so cool. Like, I got to perform at the Clive Davis party. I was bumping shoulders literally with Stevie Wonder. I think that was my fault, though, because I...
Probably.
I mean, obviously. I mean, no, it was crazy. It was just really bizarre, like, to look out. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen are sitting right in front of me. I'm, like, freaking out a little bit. It was very cool. It was very cool.
You were also a presenter, right?
Yeah. Presented at the pre-ceremony.
Was that crazy and like
Yeah.
super strange being on the stage? Like, because I think you said, I watched like one little clip because they had you doing a couple things. You're like, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be cool if everyone's naked right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were saying. Was that totally weird?
Yeah, it's weird because, like, we didn't really have, they didn't give me any lines. They didn't have a teleprompter. There was nothing planned. So you just go up there and they're like, just wing it. I said, I don't know if you really want me to do that, but they did it. I did it. It was fun. I had a really great time. It was really
awesome.
fun. Yeah, a lot of liquid courage, a lot of good times.
Looked good and everything, the outfit
yeah.
and all that stuff. Hey, Chris, that's not Chris. Let's talk about the album.
Yeah.
Okay, Death of a Bachelor.
Yeah.
This is all you.
Yeah.
Creatively producing everything. One thing that wasn't technically all you, Rivers Cuomo joined in for Victorious. How did that happen?
Oh, man. In the most organic way. It was so cool. My buddy Jake Sinclair, who helped me produce the album,
Yes.
was also producing Weezer's latest album. So we were in the studio. I was really struggling with the part for Victorious. I was getting so frustrated. I was just pacing back and forth, playing it on a loop, trying to figure out a melody. It was like really frustrating. And at that moment, Rivers called Jake to talk over some ideas real quick. And so they were on the phone for like 5 minutes. But I was playing that in the background. And he was like, what is that song? And Jake was like, oh, actually, I'm going to send you this song. He's like, yeah, send it to me. So we sent it to him. And like 10 minutes later, he emails this idea back he recorded in a voice memo on his phone. And it ended up being the part in the song. Oh, I want to turn up the crazy. I was like, dude, Rivers Cuomo.
That's insane.
On a song. Yeah, he just wanted to pitch in and like he was like, oh, I hope you like it. Like, yeah, of course.
I love it. What the F?
Yeah, you're amazing. Yeah.
That made me think like, okay, so writing, you're doing it all on your own, and that's awesome because you have so many crazy, cool ideas. You've got to have issues maybe with like, have you ever had really bad writer's block where like maybe you were onto something so freaking awesome and you never like wrote the song? Are there any unfinished things that you're still like kind of kicking yourself for, like any situations
Definitely.
like that?
Always, yeah. There's always stuff that I have written that doesn't make the album. There's more ideas actually. So it's some of them are 2 minutes long, some are 10 seconds, some are one lyric. It depends what it is, but yeah, there's a lot of ideas that I didn't put on the album. But I like keeping those kind of in my back pocket because then I can go back to them, and that also helps kill the writer's block.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating sometimes. The only way I can describe it is if anybody's taken mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms,
Bill.
and it's like you get to a point. It's like mushrooms. Yeah, no, they're awesome. So like in that point, the pinnacle where you're peaking, and you're about to explain the meaning of the universe to everyone, and then it's gone, and you're like, ah! It's like so frustrating. So that happens.
You're like everything
It's
I've
so frustrating.
ever tried to explain, like you just did it in a matter of 10 seconds with that. Thank
With
you
drugs.
so much.
Yeah, that's the only way. I mean, it's so incredibly frustrating, but it's necessary.
Well, let me ask you about Weezer because we saw you at BB&T Pavilion.
Yeah.
You were in your freaking element, dude. You were like, holy shit, this is a dream come true. I'm on stage with Weezer. And so then we started going, and you don't really post a lot on Instagram. I kind of think that's so cool because you're not into it, but you'll do it when the time comes, and you
Sure.
write these hilarious captions. You're like, "This a-hole's going on stage with Weezer, childhood dream come true." So then we started going through your posts, and like, you are so blunt with your fans and the things you say, and like, you don't put up with shit. You don't do it. And I think like a lot of times people in this industry, they're like, don't say how you feel, don't look at the comments, just do your thing. But you don't. Is there anything that happened? I mean, like, to get that's a rock star to me. You don't care what
That's
people
cool.
say. You don't care what they think. This is how you feel, and you're gonna say it.
Yeah.
Like, was there anything that maybe happened that you got to a point where you're like, I'm not being quiet about this anymore. Stop being rude. Whatever, social media trolling. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. I appreciate you saying that because that's a thing that I look forward to in people is honesty and brutal honesty. I think what helps is maybe there's a couple factors. Like when Panic started, it was very DIY, the album. We didn't have a budget. We even asked for an extra $100 to pay people to play trumpet, and we didn't get it. So we had to pay like a couple middle school, high school kids to come and play trumpet. We
Wow.
gave them like $10 a piece. We're like, we're so sorry, we're so poor. They're like, oh, it's fine. We just wanted to play on an album. So that was really cool. And we were no one back then. And I think that had I mean, it definitely made us like not worry about what people were saying, because from that point on, the record did pretty well. So we just didn't have to answer to anybody. And I also like to surround myself with brutally honest people.
Yeah.
My buddy Zach, my best friend, one of my best friends, he is the opposite of a yes man. It's not really a no man. He's just he'll tell you exactly what's up.
Yeah.
Like, be brutally honest. And everybody I surround myself with is just like that. So it never gets out of hand. Like definitely put me in my place. I think that's really important. But I don't know. I just want to be honest with
I like
people.
that.
It's like
I don't know. It's not. You're not like sugarcoating things. You're like, hey, that was rude. Don't be a dick. F
Yeah.
off. Get effed. We're like, we
And maybe
love-
I could handle it a little better sometimes,
No,
but
some of it's so funny, like the way
Yeah.
you write things and say things. We're
That's
like,
good.
he's
That's good.
an SNL comedian. Like, this is ridiculous. Seriously.
hear that, SNL?
We know we were talking about like past lives, and we're like, what do you think that he would be? And we're like, court jester or something. We don't know. Like,
I would take that gig. Yeah.
unbelievable.
That's
so
amazing.
I don't typically like do like Twitter questions. What do you? Because it's like such a cliche interview
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But
that's fun.
somebody, I do want to say, Romina at Rome at Home. She asked something great, and I totally wish I would have came up with this awesome question. And I want to ask you this:
Okay.
Who, besides Frank Sinatra,
Mm.
who would you die to do a tour with, headline with together? Past musician, band, or present? Is there anybody? And besides Queen, I guess
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't say Queen or
yeah.
Frank.
I can't say Queen. Billy Joel.
Wow.
I'm a huge Billy Joel fan.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I saw him play at the Bowl. I that was a crazy thing to me. But I got to perform at Kennedy Center Honors like 4 years ago, and I met him because I performed Big Shot for it was him, and he was sitting next to Herbie Hancock and Obama and Michelle Obama. I was just like losing my mind. It was
gosh.
very nerve-wracking, but he was the sweetest guy in the world. He came over and just, that was really great. You know, I used to walk around, do the rock star thing. That was really great. I was like, dude, you're Long Island through and through. You are the man.
Used to walk around.
I
do
was.
the rock
He was.
star
He was the
thing.
coolest guy. Like
That's
so down to earth.
great.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely
Billy Joel. Very
Thanks for that
cool.
question.
Yeah.
Roman
well,
home?
Romina
Romina home.
Yes. Okay. So here we are. We're in Philly,
Yeah.
and this is crazy because you were just with Weezer, and
Yeah.
you're here headlining at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. This is a sold-out show. I guess my question is, are there any special things or memories that you have from playing shows in Philly? Is there anything that happened? Any funny stories? Any Philly stories?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We one of the first shows Panic ever played here was at the Electric Factory.
Nice.
And Bam Margera came to the show, and I was like really into Jackass and CKY2K and all that stuff. And I was just into skateboarding and stuff. So when he showed up, I didn't know he had showed up to the show, and we were on stage. We're like third song in, and I look out, and he's just back at the bar. I was like, "What is happening right now? This is really weird." That was like one of my first celebrity sightings at one of our shows.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's the man.
He's-
I like
he's
him a lot.
wild.
Yeah,
He's
no,
a
he
little
is.
wild, yeah.
I
He's
think he's
crazy.
doing really well now.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
That's it, man. Well, I guess
That's
one
amazing.
last thing I want to ask,
Yeah.
because I know you gotta do your thing.
No, yeah.
The album came out about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Are you writing? Are you thinking about the next album? Will there be super long song titles like always? What's going on with the new album? Is there?
Yeah, I am. I've never really stopped working on stuff. Even once Death came out, I was always just constantly working in the studio. And yeah, I have like a handful of songs I'm really excited about, whether they end up as just a single or on an album. I don't know yet. Nothing's planned right now, but yeah, I've got plenty of ideas that I'm really stoked on. So
I imagine notebooks everywhere, like in your room. Like, yeah, I came up with an idea.
I wish I looked that like genius with stuff written
You
everywhere, but it's
are.
just in my phone. It's just like a voice memo
I
or a dumb
know.
joke at dinner or something. Yeah, that's
Well,
what it becomes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
sitting
you.
down
You're
with me.
awesome.
Brendon Urie, Panic at the Disco. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll check you next time.